Going back to the live stream, going back to the live stream, what is the thing that's happening over here is not known. hmm Who is this Magar Sonam? Why Magar Sonam is coming over here? mm Golden Meadow. So I heard something today that tonight we are gonna see did the sparkling waves in glee. So despite moving and swinging and turning and twisting and with the waving all around, they were still beautifully sparkling in the sun. So observe, be vigilant about nature as well. 2, 5, 6, 8. So let's go with the one. One starts with alphabet Z. First in the list of words we have vacant, sprightly, cows, gay, sparkling, bay, stressed, gay. So on the other hand we have a meanings cheerful, extended abroad, inlet of sea where the land curves inwards. To look steadily so far, long, comfortable seat, lively, null, full of life and energy, empty, shining and flashing with light. And reading comprehensions, we have got the read the following questions. Read the poems and answer the following questions. Who is compared with the cloud? Where did the person in the poem see the daffodils? Where, what word does the poet use to compare the daffodils with? The speaker dances with the daffodils. Why? What is the theme of the poem? Is the loneliness of the first stanza similar to the solitude of the last stanza? Okay. Okay, okay, okay. Mm-hmm. Where's the mic? Who's taking my mic off? Off the wheel. Hello, 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 hello. Who's taking my mic off? Who is taking my mic off? Mm-hmm. Mic is not working. Why mic is working? Why not working? Mm-hmm. I don't have the sound to come out. So what to do? And then something is gonna be the same. And then come on. All the waste and the if it is not coming, then what to do? Something must have taken my sound away. Um. Okay, so I'm just reading live chat that some of the people that have been spamming the chat room, and they have been reported, as well as the people like Dami K1 Magar Sonam Sere, whoever those people were, they're under my observation list. Okay, what is this again? Sivam Bastola? Sivam Bastola, who must be this one, whoever. Okay. Dealing with some of the people now. Let me deal with some of the people over here who have been really littering our entire environment. Shivam Bastola. DXD? Who is this? These guys, people hiding their face, the names. So make me mode, I will ban these spammers. Okay, try it. You are on mode now. Okay. Let's see, anybody is there who is really disturbing. Now is it S for MPU? Anybody's left out? With this Spidermon, what is this? SPOIDORRMON. Then who else left? Anyone is left who is really poisoning the beautiful garden, poisoning the milk, rotting the entire basket full of apples, good apples as well. Okay, I think I can continue a little bit more. Swaguzu. Okay, who is this again? Hacker Jonas. Okay, then I'm coming back to the reading section again. I was explaining, as well as I was reading the words as well as now when it comes to reading comprehension, we have read the poem again and answer these questions. So these two I have already read out, and now it's time that we rearrange these sentences in the correct order. We have A, B, C, D, and those orders have to be rearranged so that the entire text looks like everything is in a systematic order. So when you answer these questions, then you always remember these have to be put in the correct order, remembering that the names, I mean the number names, are not changed at all. So let's see which comes first, which comes second. It's only for rearrange the paragraph given below in the correct order so that they make the complete summary of the poem. Number A, those daffodils were like stars that shine and twinkle on the Milky Way. They were stretched endlessly along the shore. The speaker saw 10,000 daffodils tossing their heads in a sprightly dance. Number B, the speaker was wandering alone like a floating clouds on high over valleys and hills. Suddenly he saw a crowd of golden daffodils beside the lake, beneath the trees. They were fluttering and dancing in the breeze. So we have number C. For now, whenever he lies on his couch in vacant or pensive mood, the memory flashes upon that inward eye, that is bliss of solitude. Then his heart is filled with pleasure and dances with the daffodils. Number D, we have the waves beside them were also dancing, but they were not as beautiful as daffodils. They were there. He could not do anything but be happy. In such a joyful company of flowers, he gazed and gazed, but did not realize what wealth the scene would bring him. Well, these are the four different sentences. Okay, let's say they are actually put in different sentences within a paragraph. In one, we have one paragraph, so we have four paragraphs all at once, and they are just jumbled. Entire paragraphs have been jumbled. These are the paraphrases of the lines that were already given in the poems. So start with the one that comes first. That's like this number B. The speaker was wandering alone like a floating whatever it is. Then finding out that waves beside them were also dancing. So before that we have, you know, we have the daffodils were like stars and shining and twinkling, and then we have the waves beside them were also dancing, but they were not as beautiful as daffodil. And finally, for now the weather he lies on his couch in vacant or pensive mood, the memory flashes upon the inward eye. So this is bliss of solitude. Then his heart is filled with pleasure and dances with the daffodils. The follow-up activity that we have is nature is a precious gift to human beings. Have you ever been amazed at or been pleased by the nature like Wordsworth? Create a poem about nature. So whenever you visit you visit a natural place, be it a meadow, be it just a tree, or gaze upon every leaves they're springing up, every leaves they have, every leaf they have like colors, different varieties of colors, and how they are able to strangle, how they are hanging and fluttering with the gusts of wind, and how cheerful they look. Okay, so season change in one of the great sevens literary reader, we had the poem also seasons. There too, the silently the in the winter the leaves fall, and those falling of the leaves are also presented in such a beautiful manner, as if the tree was father or mother and was caressing the children in terms of leaves, and they were drying, and they were just falling with the weaknesses or lack of moisture, and they are already old, so they need to fall off trees so that the tree can spring up new sprouts next spring. Well, the similar manner we have follow-up activities. You make a beautiful poem of your imagination, whatever imagination that you can spring out or spring up. Reading second part, Mr. Thapa, reporter of a health magazine, has interviewed Dr. Rajan Patel, who is a general physician at Civil Hospital Kathmandu. Read the interview and learn about the pandemic of typhoid fever. Well, reporter says, Doctor, would you please tell me about typhoid fever? Dr. Rajan says, Well, typhoid fever is a potential fatal infectious disease caused by bacteria called Salmonella typhi and Salmonella paratyphi A and B. The disease is common in developing countries like Nepal, where sanitation is poor. Nepal sanitation is poor? I don't believe. Reporter, what is an infectious disease? Could you please tell us how it is serious to humans? Dr. Rajan says infectious diseases are caused by pathogenic microorganisms such as bacteria, virus, parasites, or fungi. The disease can spread directly or indirectly from one person to another. You can get infected by touching, eating, drinking, or breathing anything that contains microorganisms. Infectious diseases are serious to humans as they can kill more people worldwide than any other single cause. The socioeconomic impact of infectious diseases is huge because disease survivors may take several months to recover and resume their work. The reporter says, Doctor, how do you know if a person is suffering from typhoid? What are its symptoms? Dr. Rajan says during the first week of infection, the patient has a high grade fever, headache, body ache, and loss of appetite. Constipation may be present, although diarrhea and vomiting may also be common in early illness. At the end of the first week, rashes called rose spots may appear on the upper abdomen and back. Patients may develop a cough and become delirious. By the end of the second week, patients may become profoundly ill unless the disease is treated by antibiotic treatment. In the third week, the patients may pass into coma and die if no treatment is given. Reporter asks again, it seems to be a serious disease. Could you tell us how it transmits? Dr. Rajan says it is transmitted via the fecal oral route or the urine oral route. This may take place directly through dirty hands contaminated with the feces or urine from cases or carriers of typhoid fever, or indirectly by indigestion of by ingestion of contaminated water, milk, or food, or through flies. Reporter asks again, would you mind telling us the percentage of typhoid infected people who visit your department? Dr. Rajan says, actually it is difficult to say the exact percentage as we don't have actual data. Though it can affect any age group, its incidence is highest in 5 to 19 year of age group. Typhoid fever is observed all through the year, but the peak incidence is reported on the rainy season, that is July to September. Reporter says, please tell us its preventive measures. I mean, how can a person be safe from such a dreadful disease? Dr. Rajan says, good question. Protection and purification of drinking water supplies, improvements of basic sanitation, and promotion of food and personal hygiene are essential measures to prevent transmission. Hands should be frequently washed using soap and clean water. They should be washed before preparing food, eating, drinking, and after using the toilet. Early diagnosis and treatment of typhoid cases is very important. Next preventive measure is vaccination. 2 typhoid vaccines are available: oral live attenuated vaccine given on days 1, 3, 5, and 7 with a booster every 5 years, and the other one is parental vaccine, which involves 1 dose with a booster every 2 years. Reporter asks, I would appreciate it if you could tell us how we can make people aware of this fatal disease. I would like to know the way people could be educated on its seriousness. Dr. Rajan reports says, sure, we can make people aware of this fatal diseases through health education. People should know how the disease is transmitted and its preventive measures. People should eat safe food, drink safe beverages, practice hygiene and cleanliness. If you feel sick and think you might have typhoid fever, consult a doctor early. Diagnosis and treatment is very important because if untreated, 10 to 15% of the people affected usually die of typhoid fever. However, this can be brought down to 1% if diagnosed and treated early. Reporter says, Finally, do you have anything to say regarding this disease, doctor? Dr. Rajan says, well, typhoid is easily preventable infectious disease. Simple measures could, which I have said either in your question, can prevent us from getting this disease. Creating public awareness not only for fever, typhoid fever, but all other infectious diseases is crucial. A reporter asks the finals or shows gratitude, extends gratitude, saying thank you for your valuable time, Dr. Rajan. Dr. Rajan says thank you, Mr. Thapa. So we do have vocabulary again. Then vocabulary news first. Find the words with the text in from the text above and give similar meaning to the following. So we have got the meaning given and the first alphabet that begins in the verb, and that begins with the capacity to develop or happen in the future. Number B, the conditions relating to public health, especially the provision of drinking water, clean drinking water, adequate sewage disposals. It begins with alphabet S. Number C, continue after interruption. That is like the alphabet that begins, the word that begins with the alphabet R. D, the condition in which there is difficulty in emptying the bowels. That begins with C, alphabet C. Number E, make something impure by exposure or addition of a poisonous or polluting substance. Okay, so it begins with C. I don't think it's chat box. Number F, the identification of the nature of an illness or other problems by examination of the symptoms. So it begins with alphabet D. And number Z, able to be prevented or avoided. It begins with the word P. So the words are all there in the text. Just it's a matter of searching. Okay. So finally, we have, before we end up today, we just wrap up before the grammar portion. Second part of the reading that we have is read the interview again and answer the following questions. That is number A, what do you mean by typhoid fever? The definition of typhoid fever, it's already in the passage. Number B, what is an infectious disease? So meaning of infectious disease as well is given there. Number C, what are the symptoms of typhoid fevers? The typhoid fevers are, the symptoms are also clearly mentioned by Dr. Rajan. Number D, how does typhoid fever transmit? Also it's clearly said by Dr. Rajan again. Number E, what are the preventive measures of typhoid fever? This also clearly mentioned in the last part of our conversation between the reporter and Dr. Rajan. So we have final follow-up activity. Prepare a colorful poster and about typhoid fever with its symptoms and preventive measures to create public awareness, and paste it on the wall of your school magazine. So I guess this is what we have. This is what we have in our text. But one more information. Still, we are actually waiting for the sky. The shooting stars hitting in the sky. Today at 11 o'clock, I heard there is something in the sky. So if anybody would like to see what actually happens in the sky, the shooting stars flying from one direction to another direction, and if you want to take movie at night, and the clear twinkling stars like comparison of daffodils, sparkling lights in the sun. So let's see what will happen at 11. So we have about half an hour to do that, and let's see if we have some kind of similar news from Google itself. So Google says shooting stars. Tonight, shooting stars tonight. So the linear meteor shower of 2020 peaks tonight. Here's how to see the top stories are all given. So Lyrid meteor shower at 2020 peaks tonight is how. So some of the articles have already been given. So I think I need to move to the some other window captures or video capture itself. Let's go around to another one. Okay, what can we do? Can't be done anything, it's hanging. So if I take to Chrome, What do we get? Oh, somebody's chat box we can see. Okay, if I take to another Chrome, what do we see? This also we have got chat box. We come to the last one. What do we see? Chrome X Studio.port YouTube Live. Nothing is coming. Means I need to switch it to this one. Go back again to our streaming. Then here you may be seeing window graphics capture. Nothing is showing, so we don't. Alright, now finally we are able to see what's there in the sky. Finally, it is what I am reading, the Lyriad meteor showers of 2021 peaks tonight 20 hours 21 hours ago it said tonight. So when this tonight is all about, so shooting stars in the clear night, one of the springtime's most prominent shooting star groups peaks overnight tonight, April 21st and 22nd. Today it is 22nd of April. The famous Lyriad meteor shower will become visible in the northern hemisphere beginning at about 10:30 p.m. local time and continuing tonight, weather permitting in your area. Of course, the best visibility would likely to be before dawn after the waxing gibbous moon says, otherwise you may have some interfaces from moonlight. Okay, so similar thing that we have is the individual meteors, the tiny space rocks of the Lyriad appear when the Earth moving its orbit around the Sun plows into the dust trail of the long departed comet called Thatcher that swings by Earth every 415 years, the last time being in 1861, exactly 160 years ago. Lyriad meteor. So let's see what we have in a small video here. Going on sound.
As winter turns to spring in the northern hemisphere,
here we are.
The nights are becoming shorter and much cozier.
Well, we can
Rising
make it bigger
temperatures
as well.
make shirt-sleeve astronomy possible again. If you must choose one night to spend under the beacon stars this month, it should be a wonderful night. It should be a wonderful night, says Bill Cook of NASA's Meteoroid Environment Office. Shower will peak under the dark sky new moon. Conditions should be ideal for meteor watching. Lyriad meteors come from Comet Thatcher. Every year in late April, Earth passes through a stream of debris from the old comet, which has been bringing Lyriad meteors to our planet for at least 2,600 years. Specks of Thatcher's dust hit the top of the atmosphere at 110,000 miles per hour and disintegrate in a slow flurry of meteors. Typical Lyriads are about as bright as the stars of the Big Dipper, says Cook, so they're good for beginners, and it's not unusual to see 1 or 2 fireballs when the shower peaks. Most years, the shower maxes out at 15 or 20 meteors per hour. Occasionally, however, rates increase sharply when Earth glides through an unusually dense clump of debris. In 1982, for instance, astronomers counted as many as 90 Lyriads per hour. An even more impressive outburst was documented in 1803 by a journalist in Virginia. The outburst alarmed many and astonished every person that beheld it. From 1 until 3 in the morning, those starry meteors seemed to fall from every point in the heavens, in such numbers as to resemble a shower of skyrockets. A good time to look for Lyriads is during the hours after midnight, when the shower's radiant is rising toward its zenith. Coincidentally, this year's shower peaks during the same week that Saturn is having a close encounter with Earth. If you begin your meteor watch around midnight, you'll see the ringed planet shining almost directly overhead, about 2 times brighter than a first magnitude star. Got a telescope? Now would be a great time to use it. Even small department store models at low magnification provide a nice view of Saturn's rings. NASA's Cassini spacecraft is orbiting Saturn now, studying the planet's strange moons and snapping breathtaking photos of the ringed plane. No telescope on Earth can match Cassini's proximity to the ringed planet, but many observers say the view from your own backyard is uniquely satisfying. And there's more. When you're finished looking at Saturn, you can turn your optics towards Mars. The red planet is also up at midnight on April 21st, and it's even brighter than Saturn. Backyard telescopes reveal a tiny burnt orange globe with a white cap of polar ice reflecting enough sunlight to see 81 million miles away. NASA's newest rover Curiosity is en route to Mars now, on a mission to hunt for signs of ancient life. You can tell your friends you saw Mars even before Curiosity did. April 21st has a lot to offer. For more news about wonders in the night sky, visit science.nasa.gov.
Okay, so we will be going to see the shooting stars in the sky rather than staying over here and live casting or live broadcasting. So you see you guys, everybody. Thanks for helping and thanks for watching as well. Now what is wrong? Nothing's wrong. So we'll go back to our live streaming as well. Alright, by this time, if anybody's left out, anybody's still there who is still listening to all these things and all that. So are you reading chat? Yeah, I read chat. Message helpful review. Alright, thanks. Change windows. I want to make a wish. When, sir, please tell. So we go at that, as it's already said that we have to go to the open yard at night. Maybe whole night if you keep on observing that thing, that'll be better. So time in the northern hemisphere, our hemisphere, is like 10:30 onwards till morning. That is possible. So since yesterday 21st it's happening, so we cannot see in the daylight, but in the night light, when the moon fades away, and then you can see till the dusk. Alright, Hacker Jones, you are under arrest. Okay, for today that much. Hope you enjoy, or hope you see the nice sky. Rihanna Tamrakar, sir, so late live. Look at the time. I know I'm waiting for the night time. I'm waiting for 10:30 to 11, after 11. Okay, then I'm going to I'm going to the terrace to see the sky. Bye bye. Good night. Take care. If you see rate big sparkling light in the sky, that's Mars, and wave to your ancestors, to our ancestors. They might have lived there long before we came to Earth. Okay, then bye bye. So is this.